The awards rained down for female artists.
I just won my first Grammy!
Miley Cyrus picked up 2 Grammys, giving the crowd a little more than they bargained for.
Thank you all so much. I don't think I forgot anyone, but I might have forgotten underwear. Bye!
One, two, three, four.
That was a good debriefing, but I have to go. Don't forget, we're getting lunch together today. Okay?
All right.
Morning to you. The Prime Minister is promising to focus on levelling up along with extra funding for public transport and women's safety.
We climb over the firewall. It takes risk to climb over the firewall and it's illegal.
The Home Secretary has vowed that tackling violence against women and girls is her priority as she announced a further £25 million to make public spaces better.
More than half of women feel unsafe in public spaces, according to recent research, to help women feel safer walking home alone. The very low prosecution rates of crimes against women clearly suggests the system is not working. The number of rape cases resulting in a charge fell to an all-time low of 3% last year.
A new BBC documentary is revealing the extent of the lies spread by a 22-year-old woman who falsely told police in Cumbria she'd been raped.
Have you ever pondered over the devastating impact of a single untrue statement?
Is made more for the male gaze.
The Everyone's Invited movement within schools also revealed the levels of sexual harassment girls experienced from a young age.
Whilst it's very uncomfortable for us to face up to, it's equally something that we see ourselves as having a huge responsibility to tackle in the context that we work in.
Loads of people like to say it's not all men, and if you think that you're not all of the men, then you need to look inside yourself and see what you're doing to help instead of just saying that you're not part of the problem.
The accusation was later proven to be false, but not before John had lost his job, his reputation, and the trust of many of his colleagues and friends. Innocence is disregarded, and where the consequences of a false accusation can shatter a life in an instant. This is the stark reality for many men who have been wrongly accused of rape or sexual harassment.
We're going to be asking, are women safe in our streets? We want your experiences and your questions for our experts. That's at 9 o'clock on Monday night.
The accusation was later proven to be false.
Today, we're venturing into that territory, exploring a less discussed but significant issue. Female-on-male violence. Yes, you heard it right.
When he was falsely accused of sexual harassment by a disgruntled student.
It's like a little corner out of the eye thinking, oh no, is he walking near me? Or it's just, it takes that perspective.
Even just small things like crossing the street if you're walking late at night and you're behind a girl, just crossing the street to make sure that they know you're not a threat to them.
Numbers can be startling, especially when they reveal a hidden truth. In this case, the truth is about the frequency of female-on-male violence. Tell me, did you know that, according to various studies, nearly 1 in 7 men has experienced severe physical violence by an intimate partner in their lifetime?
And I personally don't remember anything really of the night.
I want to go out and get drunk, and I should be able to walk home at 2 a.m. and feel safe. If I don't remember what happened to me, it's a man's fault and therefore it's rape.
We may have had a day celebrating lasses being awesome on Monday, but let's face it, they're awesome every day.
I'm going to go out tonight in a short dress and no panties. I'll walk home drunk and alone early tomorrow morning. I want to feel safe and not be judged or blamed for anything. The police must believe me and always protect me.
One, two, three, four.
Always remember, women are equal, and in every way as good as a man. They just want extra help, more time off work and special concessions. Always remember, women are equal, and in every way as good as a man. They just want extra help, more time off work and special concessions.
Why do people treat girls differently? Should I?
Hey, baby.
Come, baby. I
think about us making love every
Elle a c'est une galère.
Kathy used men to get pregnant so that she could get the child support. In short, she was a succubus.
Have you ever stopped to think, is safety a privilege or a right? In our society, safety concerns are often seen through a lens that predominantly focuses on women. However, it's crucial to remember that men, too, face their own unique set of safety issues, often overlooked or minimized. And let's not forget about physical violence. Men are equally susceptible to violence, yet their stories often remain untold.
A 42-year-old woman has been arrested on suspicion of murder after 3 children were found dead at a property in Bristol.
This is an Flukie TV production. Have you ever noticed how many films, where the beautiful lady says, no, and doesn't want to be kissed, but when the man forces himself on her, she likes it, and they end up making love on the floor, there and then?
I mean, you want to go? I'll go right now.
You're saying you want to fight me?
Anytime.
I'm not gonna fight you.
Yeah, I didn't think so.
You don't have to be scared, but it would be sensible to be scared right now.
Who are you? An angel. What's your name? What's your name? Satan.
And Dame Priti Patel, she is going to be the shadow foreign secretary. Now, she had to leave the government when Theresa May was Prime Minister for running what amounted to be a freelance foreign policy operation, seeing senior figures in Israel when she was on holiday. Foreign Affairs, now her brief.
Sorry, I have to say something to defend men. There's so much talk about women, I'll be the first to admit that men look bad. The media tends to zoom in on men when they're breaking the law. They won't talk about women, in general, breaking the law because most of the news is presented by women, and it's misogynistic. Yes, there are indeed more men in prison, but that's because the criminal justice system is reluctant to incarcerate women. Most of them have children, and they don't do very well in prison. They are suddenly delicate snowflakes. They will cry and sob and say they have to look after their children, their sick mother, their sick father, etc. So men go to prison. It's also true that most immigrants are men, so of course more criminals will be men. There aren't very many women and children coming in on a boat. They can send for their women and children once they get settled in the UK. But it's also true without a doubt that it's mostly men that built the bridges, the prisons, the schools, the hospitals, and that's often not mentioned. Probably men do commit most crimes, but the burden is on men to be the providers. Women hurt people in different ways and can always get help from men, the council, daddy, sugar daddy, and food banks, etc. When I'm in a situation where I'm alone or likely to be alone with a female, I record the event because I'm so worried about being falsely accused of something and I need evidence from my side. Even the hospitals and places have signs, "Don't be rude to our nurses," so I'm terrified of offending them. Also, I know that the police will assume that the woman is innocent because women never lie and it's the law. It's about equality that the woman is presumed innocent, and the man is guilty unless there's overwhelming evidence otherwise. I'm scared to have a personality for fear of offending a female or a person of color or, worst case, a colored female. That's a double hate crime. Of course, historically men are more violent. Men traditionally should protect and provide for their families. Yes, now women even join the army and police, but not on the front line. I'll admit that women don't commit violent crimes as often. They're smarter than that. They are generally weaker and they're more subtle and make the man's life a misery. He can't afford a divorce or they force him into suicide.